Friends, myself Dr. Deepak Avade, Department of Chemistry, and today in this video number 1 we are going to discuss the first topic from paper number 14, which belongs to organic chemistry, and the title of this topic is reagents and reactions in organic synthesis. Now, what is the scope of this topic, or what sort of information we can obtain after studying this topic? So the first and important information that we can obtain about the chemical transformation of the reactants to the products. So in chemical reaction, reactants reacts with each other and there is formation of the products. So this conversion of reactants into the products is called as chemical transformation, and we can get the idea about this chemical transformation after studying this topic. So this is the first important scope of this topic. The second one is utility of the reagents. So what is the role of reagents and for what purpose they are used? This knowledge we can get after knowing this topic. The next scope of this topic is synthesis of organic compounds. So after knowing this topic, we can design the synthesis of organic compound. So what is meant by designing of synthesis of organic compound? Suppose we want to prepare one organic compound, and we have a particular plan or step number 1 this compound we are going to prepare, in step number 2 second compound, in step number 3, and in this way at the end of this, or in the last step, we will get the desired organic compound. This is called as planning, or in another words it is called as designing of synthesis of organic compounds. So we can synthesize the new organic compounds after knowing this topic. The next important scope of this topic is the reaction mechanism. We can get the idea of what type of reaction mechanism is involved in the particular reaction. Next, reaction kinetics. We can get the idea about the reaction kinetics. Means we can optimize the reaction conditions and other parameters such as temperature, pressure, concentration, etc. Another important scope of this topic is we can use a particular reaction for the synthesis of various organic compounds. So these are the important scopes of this topic, reagents and reactions in organic synthesis. So this topic is divided into two parts, part A and part B. In part A, we are going to discuss the preparation and applications of some reagents. So the first reagent that we are going to discuss under this part A is lithium aluminum hydride, and its formula is LiAlH4. The second one is Raney nickel. Third one is osmium tetroxide, OSO4. Fourth one is selenium dioxide, SeO2. Fifth one is dicyclohexyl carbodiimide. In short, it is called as DCC, and the last one is diazomethane, CH2N2. So this is the first part, or part A of this topic, preparation and applications of reagents. In second part, that is in part B, we are going to discuss different reactions. Overall, we are going to discuss 6 reactions. So the first reaction is Diels-Alder reaction. Second one is Mirwin-Pondorf-Verley reduction reaction. In short, it is called as MPV reduction reaction. Third one is Hofmann rearrangement reaction. Fourth one is Wittig reaction. Fifth one is Wagner-Mirwin rearrangement reaction. Sixth one is Beer-Williger oxidation reaction. So these are the 6 reactions that we are going to discuss with respect to the statement of reaction, then a specific or the representative reaction of a representative example of this reaction, then its reaction mechanism, and at the end the applications of these reactions in different organic synthesis. And at the end of this topic, we will be discussing the problems based on all these 6 reactions. So before starting this topic, we should know some basic part of the organic chemistry. So all of you know that organic chemistry is the chemistry of carbon compounds. Means organic compound should contain carbon. Carbon element is present in all organic compounds. Now along with this carbon, other elements are also present. For example, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, phosphorus, etc. So this carbon is important as far as organic compounds and organic chemistry is considered. So if we look at the carbon, position of carbon in periodic table, it is placed in the fourth group of the periodic table. As it is placed in fourth group, it must have 4 electrons in its outermost shell, and for octet completion it requires 4 electrons. So carbon is a tetravalent. Remember, this is very important point that you should remember. Carbon is tetravalent, means it forms only 4 bonds with other atoms or groups. Now let's see the organic reaction. Generally it is represented as A plus B, it gives C plus D. So A is a substrate, B is reagent, C is main product, and D is the byproduct. Now let's take the specific example of a reaction. Benzene plus chlorine, it gives chlorobenzene plus hydrochloric acid. So in this reaction, benzene is a substrate, chlorine is a reagent, chlorobenzene is the desired product, and hydrochloric acid is the byproduct. So here benzene is a substrate, chlorine is a reagent. So what is substrate? Substrate is the compound on which a reaction is to be carried out. The compound which undergo chemical change, that is called as substrate. The compound on which reaction is to be carried out is called as substrate. So in different way we can define substrate. Now whatever chemical change we are carrying out with the substrate, that is because of the reagent. So chlorine is the reagent. So in short we can define reagent is the compound which brings about the chemical change or chemical transformation. So in this reaction, benzene is a substrate, chlorine is a reagent, and chlorobenzene is the main product, whereas hydrochloric acid is the side product. As we know, organic reaction, every organic reaction proceeds with a typical reaction mechanism. So what is reaction mechanism? So in simple words, it can be defined as path followed by the reactants to form the product or products. Reactants that followed the path, that is nothing but the reaction mechanism. Now let's take the general example. A plus B, it gives products C plus D. But here the formation of products C and D occurs via X. So this is one path. In another path, AB reacts and there is formation of Y species, and that Y species is converted into the products C and D. So this is the second path. So the path followed by the reactants to form the products may be one, or it may be same, or it may be different. So in short, we can define mechanism of reaction is nothing but the path followed by the reactants to form the products. So in these two reactions, reaction number 1 and 2, so here X is the species which is formed in between AB and CD. In second example, Y is the species which is formed between reactants and these products. So what is X and Y? These are species which are formed in between reactants and products. They are called as intermediates. So intermediates are the species formed in between reactants and products. So intermediates are broadly classified into two classes. depending upon their life. The first one is a short-lived intermediate and second one is the long-lived intermediates. The intermediates which have their life very short, such intermediates will be called as short-lived intermediates, whereas the intermediates having long life will be identified as long-lived intermediates. So this is the classification based on the life of the intermediate, short-lived intermediates and long-lived intermediates. So again, intermediates are of different types depending upon the positive, negative charge or the electron density they are having over them. So intermediates, they may be carbocation, these are the positively charged species. Intermediates may be carbanion, in which carbon carries negative charge. Intermediates may be free radicals, may be nitrines, may be carbenes, etc. So there are different types of intermediates, and every organic reaction proceeds with certain mechanism in which we observe these intermediates. Now let's begin with the first reagent, lithium aluminum hydride. Its formula is LiAlH4. So let's see the first preparation of lithium aluminum hydride. It can be prepared by two methods, laboratory method as well as industrial method. The laboratory method involves reaction between lithium hydride and aluminum chloride to form lithium aluminum hydride plus 3 lithium chloride molecules. So this is very simple laboratory method by means of which we can prepare lithium aluminum hydride. The industrial method of preparation of lithium aluminum hydride is nothing but the reaction between sodium and aluminum in presence of hydrogen. There is formation of sodium aluminum hydride which on metathesis, just metathesis means exchange of ions. So NaAlH4 reacts with LiCl and there is formation of LiAlH4 plus NaCl. Here LiCl is with lithium, but here there is this Cl is with sodium. Here Na is there, here Li is there. Means this Li get exchanged by sodium. So this is called as metathesis reaction. Now this point, it is very basic point, but you should remember, because while discussing the applications it will be useful for you to understand how the products are formed when we use lithium aluminum hydride. So lithium carries 1 positive charge, aluminum carries 3 positive charges, so overall 4 positive charges are there. Then hydrogen, 4 hydrogens carries 4 negative charges. So here the name lithium aluminum hydride, hydrogen when loses 1 electron it get converted into H plus ion, and that H plus ion is called as proton. But when hydrogen H receives or when it accepts 1 electron, it will be converted into H minus ion, and that H minus ion is called as hydride ion. So hydride ion means H minus, in which H carries negative charge. So why I am telling this basic, because you will see the use of this basic in the applications of lithium aluminum hydride. Now lithium aluminum hydride is mostly used for the preparation of alcohols. So reduction of esters, carboxylic acids to primary alcohols. Aldehydes or ketones can also be reduced to alcohols. Alpha beta unsaturated ketones can also be reduced to allylic alcohols. Epoxides are reduced to secondary or tertiary alcohols. Epoxy cyclohexanes are reduced to give axial alcohols preferentially. So these are the different applications of lithium aluminum hydride. We can say that here by using the starting compound, that may be ester, carboxylic acid, aldehyde, ketone, we get alcohol as a product. Now let's see the reactions. So this is the these are the different applications of lithium aluminum hydride. So let me zoom this slide so that you can observe the reaction clearly. So this is lithium aluminum hydride. It reacts with ketone molecule RC double bond OR dash. There is formation of this intermediate compound. We can say this intermediate compound. Now lithium carries positive charge. Now any carbonyl compound that may be ester, acid, aldehyde, ketone, anhydride, carbonyl group is there. This C double bond O group is there. C double bond O. This C double bond O group is there. Now oxygen is more electronegative as compared to carbon. So oxygen will carry negative charge, carbon will carry positive charge. This lithium has positive charge, whereas this hydrogen, these four hydrogens carries negative charges. So one of the H minus ion from these four will form the bond with this positively charged carbon. So CH bond formation will be there, and O minus will form the bond with Li plus. So this is OLi bond formation. Now this compound on hydrolysis, acid hydrolysis, it is converted into primary alcohol. So OLi will get converted into OH group. So this is very simple reaction. Now let's see the another reaction. Lithium aluminum hydride reacts with this aldehyde. Again this C double bond O group is there. C plus and O minus. O minus and Li plus will form this bond. C plus and H minus, this, there is formation of CH bond. Again on acid hydrolysis, OLi will get converted into OH group. In this way, lithium aluminum hydride reacts with ester molecule, epoxide molecule, and other carboxylic acids, and we get alcohols. This is alcohol, this one alcohol. Here also we get alcohol. But here lithium aluminum hydride, when treated with alkyl cyanide or alkyl nitriles, we obtain primary amine. Lithium aluminum hydride on reaction with azide, it forms again primary amino compound. So these are the different applications of lithium aluminum hydride. So in this video number 1, we are going to we have discussed only one reagent and the basic part of the organic chemistry. The remaining part will be discussed in the video number 2. If you have any questions or queries regarding this video number 1, you can ask me anytime. I will be happy to answer your questions. Thank you very much.